Yes, everybody, click like. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. I thought I would go live today for you guys. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How's everyone doing today? Hope everything is great. Hold on, I gotta spritz on my rose water. My refreshing facial mist. Get my frequency and vibration high. Okay, so we're going to be talking about outside of the box thinkers. And of course, we always get these people calling it right when I start videoing. It's like they have this radar or something. But anyway, welcome to the channel. I had a little technical difficulties earlier, Texas weather in and out um, on my other channel, but hopefully this one is going to be okay. Yay. Okay, so we're going to be talking about outside of the box thinkers. Okay. Now, spirituality, spiritual channels, and all this kind of stuff, they seem to attract a lot of people that seem or they feel like they seem to be thinking outside the box. But then we have a lot of those people that are still thinking within a box, even though they feel like they're thinking outside of a box, which means they always have some rules. They always have some corrections. They always have some, you should do this and not that. When you think outside of the box, you are literally creating the reality that you desire, that you want to create. So there are no rules. Okay. And so whenever I see a lot of people trying to correct others or correct something in my video that I said, you can't correct art or creation. You can't correct what is being created or an art. Okay. And that's what this life is. You are a creator. And so when you try to put a lot of rules and boundaries on something, it lets others know that you are one of those types of people that still are thinking within a box instead of creating your own reality. And so I want to share, that it's okay to think different. It's okay to do what you want. It's okay to create and have a totally different belief system or change your belief system daily if that is what is creating the reality that you live in. Okay. Or that's how you like it. There are no rules to creating. Okay. You just do what you want, basically. And a lot of people don't understand this. They still live in a rule system. And that, when you have rules, it means literally you're being ruled over. So you don't want to create all these rules in order to feel like you're free. Okay. And when I say rules, I mean, oh, well, you can't do this, and this is a specific this, and this is specifically that. It's whatever you want it to be when you need it to be that. Okay. So just think of it as temporary and always constantly changing, just like life. Okay. We can't create with something that's fixed and not able to change and grow, especially a mind. So you need to keep your mind a little bit more open and thinking outside of the box because you can't create with a fixed mind. Okay. Um, and this goes for all belief systems. It goes for all belief systems. If you can't take one thing and incorporate it into another and then make it your own, then what is it for? Those are mediums. Those are your colors, your paint brushes, your artistic tools. If you can't use them to the way that you want them, then why even have them? Okay. I know a lot of people are, maybe in a fixed mindset for some other reason. Some people can't handle the freedom or the ability to create whatever you want. It's too much for them. It's overstimulating for them, or it's, some people need to be told what to do in order to even attempt to start to try to change their own life. And so for those people, rules and order and all that kind of stuff may be good for you. But there are many people out here that don't need that and don't want it and like to be free. And I notice there are different types of people. Some people can't, they're not self starters. Some people are not able to get up and then just do something without having a schedule, without being told, without having a deadline, without, this, and that. And some people are just able to wake up and create whatever it is they want. And so I understand that a lot of people are not used to thinking outside of the box, but don't try to put other people's thinking in a box just because you can't think outside. Okay. I would say the best thing to do is to learn how to think outside the box a little bit more. If it's too hard for you in the beginning, just take baby steps, of course, and just know that nothing is fixed or permanent. Okay. Um, and you can always constantly change everything according to what you're thinking and what you want and how you're feeling at the time. Um, you said fixed mindset is definitely from a religion on your end. Yeah, religion seems to do that. And whenever I think of religion, I always think of a circle that keeps going and repeating itself. But when I think of something that's ever changing and eternal, I think of more of a spiral or a torus field. You're able to create more things, different things as things flow. And I feel like that is why a lot of people have, ease manifesting things or adjusting to things in order for their manifestations to actually come faster and more accurate, you know, and them being in control of it. So I think a lot of people don't like the idea of being in control. They would rather look at something as a controller or as something to worship or a deity or something that gives and makes them their reality. But those people have not realized, and that's why I made the video, you are God and the devil. And those people have not realized yet that that is just their higher selves creating all of this. They're A lot of people are afraid of themselves, and they don't want to unite all aspects of self. They would rather stay separated in thinking because they're afraid of their power. And I think the best way to alleviate some of the fear of having that much power is literally to become almost a hermit, because that is how you get to know yourself. That is how you get to learn more. And that is how you get to stop fearing certain things and able to control yourself, emotions, and all that kind of stuff. And then when you go back out into the world or when you venture out, the fears are gone because you're not constantly being influenced by, the people around you, and you've really figured out yourself, and therefore you can execute and create the type of life that you actually want to see. Okay. You said, "Do I believe I?" Okay, let me repeat one thing. We are God and the devil. That is what I believe for now, right? This minute. Okay. So there is no separation. That's how I feel. There's no separation. And I feel like once we all realize that, life gets a lot easier. Okay. If you're constantly feeling like you're not part of everything or able to create whatever it is that you need to create, or able to, be great, or, not be perfect. Maybe you chose a wrong decision. Like, we all are able to be like God and like the devil. We all are the same God and devil. Okay, we're our own worst enemy or adversary, which is exactly what Satan means. And sometimes we are in our higher self and doing what's best, and that is our God self, our goddess self. So therefore, thinking outside of the box as a quote unquote human will take you to your own divinity. Okay. And once you realize that you are divine beings, then you won't have to submit to a separate deity, because that's who you are already, a deity, um, in your own sense. But some people need to separate themselves because they don't have the confidence to create their lives. They have a lot of fear surrounding that due to religion or not knowing themselves or understanding themselves. So that's one part of it. You said children already know this. Yeah, yeah, God is well read. Children already know this. As adults get older, they get more brainwashed and told this and told that, and so a lot of times their, you know, reality changes according to what they're being taught. That's why I don't believe in teaching children religion from a young age. Um, you said, do you think how do you think outside of the box when it comes to haters, energy drainer? Anybody that recognizes you is giving you energy. So, as long as you keep ignoring them and just taking their energy and transmuting it into something that you would like to see manifest, then that's how you do it. Okay. Um, that's the best way to do it. Ignoring, keeping their energy and transmuting it into whatever you choose it to be. Okay. How do you protect your energy? It's already protected. You don't have to protect your energy from anyone if you are God and the devil at the same time, because you are the most high and you are the in between and you are the below. So what you gonna protect it from yourself? You know, you can't protect. I mean, it's just you. That's all. Yeah, I don't believe in a lot of the things that people are afraid of. That's why I feel so free. A lot of things that people are afraid of or worried about, most of the time, it's simply just themselves. They're afraid of themselves, literally. And I don't fear those type of things because I know that if I just start creating and thinking more positive, a lot of that stuff is going to start to happen in a positive way, like I want it to. And when I start to see it manifest, I'm like, you know what? Yes. And so it doesn't leave any room for fear and things like that. Okay. You said death. Everyone is born and everyone literally has to go through physical death in some form or fashion. So why would people be afraid of that? I mean, I used to be a mortician, remember? I worked around death for 5 years straight. Um, if people are afraid of death, it means they need to live their life. It means they're not doing what they want to do. They haven't accomplished what they want to accomplish. They don't they're not happy every day that they wake up. They're not fulfilled and they think death is this far off thing that's something to fear. Death is simply um, something that only exists on the physical plane. Okay. You said, do I believe? I believe in me, myself, and I. Okay, there you go. I can be an angel, I can be a demon, I can be a god, I could be the devil, I could be all of it if I want. And that's how most people are. They just look to the outside of themselves because they haven't been taught to look within. So, since so many people are addicted with their eyes, they have to make a projection of what's inside. And so like man created gods and devils and demons and angels, not the other way around. Okay, because they could not look within. They had to have something physical in order to feel like they were separate. And that goes with animal mind. Like a lot of the animals have this synced up mentality. Like when you see us, birds flying all the pattern in one direction, when you see a school of fish, they're all like one single consciousness, right? But once one particular animal or type of, being is quote unquote loved, given a name, given a separate identity, they become more conscious and able to separate from that one animal mind consciousness. So humans, a long time ago, all humans were in tribes, they lived together, and now everyone is all separate, and so we are more individuals. And so we understand that we are individuals, but then without that connected consciousness to something, we started to look without for that connection again, and we didn't realize it was all within. It was all inner connection. So that's why people have ESP and can read other people's minds or can tell what you're thinking sometimes if y'all are close, because we were once all one mind of consciousness. And so when you divide all of that, You get individual thinking and things like that. You want to bring in deities, you want to bring in angels, you want to bring in devils, you want to bring in any excuse as to why you feel fear, why you feel separate, why you don't feel like this next person feel. And well, if they look happy, I should be happy. They look like they're living their best lives. Why can't I? We've separated ourselves mentally, but we're all in the same mental. We just have to realize it. Okay. Um, and so yeah, I don't really believe that like death is something to fear because y'all all are gonna do it. So stop fearing it and just live your life, literally. Um, where do you think everything originated? It's all in the mind. Everything is mental, and then the material is created from that. Mhm. It's like a Google. It literally is like a Google. Um, if you look back into old science fiction movies, there was a lot of technology that had not yet been invented. It only imagined, and then once the imagination, put the idea out there, then it became a reality. Then the science was studied in order to create it, and then it materialized through our hands. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If y'all want my book, definitely get it. It's on Amazon and it's linked at the very top. Manifesting with Dark Cosmic Energy, Magic in Dark Cosmic Energy by Ashura Star Goddess. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, so you feel like deities are mediums to tap into what's already inside yourself, kind of like how you show us people use crystals. I think I think deities are personifications of what you already have inside. Exactly. So for example, like if in 1,000 or 2,000 years from now, whoever was the most influential, most famous, most popular is probably going to be a deity. Okay. So, do you make the most impact? Are you representing something in a major way? Do people look to this certain person for certain things only? You know what I'm saying? So, whoever is the most popular in something is going to be deified anyway. So, most deities start off as humans or archetypes of humans. So, they're not literal beings, they're simply archetypes. Okay. Sure, what do you think about the lucky girl syndrome affirmation trending right now? Um, I mean, words, you can put words any sort of way. If you know who you are, you're going to create the life you want. That's just basically it. I think it's a good trend because a lot of people are realizing who they are. Maybe the words help them not to feel as if, the words do not induce fear, as, therefore people just accept who they are and know that they can create their own reality. A lot of people don't know this, or they don't want to know it, or they're afraid of that type of power, so they don't use it. And they continue to be what I called, people that are not able to control their own reality because they don't want to. Okay. You said deities are energy signatures that can be used and embodied. So are emotions. You know, and like this is what I'm saying. Too many things mean the same thing. This is why language, physical language that is spoken is low vibration because words get in the way of what everything is. If you basically if you took all the words away and said you are this and that and everything else, that means the same thing. You can put it any way. If it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it all means the same thing. It all means you are in control. You are able to create your own reality if you are not afraid. That's all it means. You said, why are some people afraid of their own power? Because they can't control their own emotions. Um, and I know that a lot of people are more reacting on emotions than logic. And so they're afraid of themselves. Oh, Timothy, thanks for being a member. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, so I know a lot of people are afraid of power because they don't trust themselves. They know that they make mistakes. They know that they do the wrong things sometimes. So they don't trust themselves. And so they would rather rely on a deity or God or something like that to make certain decisions for them or choose if something is for them or not, or this, and that. They would rather be the child than the parent. Okay. So it's understandable. It's understandable that a lot of people fear that they're going to mess something up, so they don't bother with it. But once you realize that, you don't have to have the option of messing things up, then you're free. When you don't have the option of messing things up, when that's one of your manifestations that you do not mess things up, then you're truly free. But that's thinking outside of the box. Okay. And people can't get there because they're still thinking inside of the box. Do you have any tips on how to embrace instead of fear your highest potential? Transmutation, which means taking a negative and turning it into a positive. Like, for example, when you say the word fear, I would simply transmute that word fear into knowledge. Let me figure out how I can make everything go my way. I'm manifesting that. Or how can I'm manifesting everything to always go my way, no matter what. I don't make mistakes. And if I do, they're all in my favor. When you have that sort of mentality or, frequency about yourself, the fear of messing up goes away. The fear of yourself doing or making the wrong decisions go away because you know every decision you make is getting you to what you want. So that's how you alleviate the fear. You have to be smarter than what it is that you're trying to create. You have to basically give yourself that safety net in order to create. Um, you said, is it possible to stay forever young if we use spells or the strongest forms of magic? Um, Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it is mental. A lot of things are also mental, and a lot of things are how your frequency is. Like, um, just like things are mental, they manifest to material. So the middle ground is where the magic really is because if you choose healthy options versus unhealthy options that pre-age you, then that knowledge is magic or it was considered magic long ago. Okay. Remember, science used to be magic. I think that's why they call it magic science. So if you know a lot of scientific things that help you to stay young, such as diets, what you choose to put in your mouth, what you choose to partake in, and how your stress levels are, what you do on a daily basis. Those things have a lot to do with how people age. Also, your genetics. We can choose our partners. We're not in arranged marriages anymore. You know what I'm saying? So if you choosing a partner that is aging prematurely and you guys have children, you're going to pass on those genes. A lot of people are choosing partners that do not age prematurely and that have, really good young looking genes all through for a long time. And that's how you create genetically. Um, and then a lot of people are choosing to live, quote unquote, the soft life, which is stress free. You're not always hustling around, doing the most, trying to, impress the boss. All that kind of stuff. You take more time for self care, and so the spell is basically to get your mindset in the correct order in order for you to be able to accomplish these things. Okay. You said, how do you deal with heartbreak? Move on. I really don't feel like you need to deal with it. If it's done, it's broke. Accept it and move on. Like, okay, well, that was fun. Next. Have a sense of humor. I think that's the biggest thing that people don't realize. Having a sense of humor can make something that seems like, it should be sad into something funny and celebratory. Okay. You need to find like something to laugh about. That's it. You need to find something to be happy and joyful about. How to stop being so lazy in your feminine energy. You have a lot of goals that I work on slowly, but I feel too comfortable being stagnant. No matter how long it takes for you to reach your goals, you're not trying to reach them tomorrow. You may be comfortable taking your time reaching your goals if you have the luxury of all of that time. You know what I'm saying? So some people have that ability, like I do. I can write something down 2 months in advance and don't get to it for 3 months because I have that luxury. And I made myself have that luxury by creating that luxury. And I don't feel pressure from myself, I feel inspiration. So my goals and things that I write down are more get around to it if you want to. They're not, you have to do this. And that's part of taking the stress away. My goals are like, do this if you want to. It's nice, it'll be fun. And the outcome is going to be positive. If you don't want to do it, do something else. And so I don't put all that kind of pressure on me. And usually, the funny thing is, all those goals eventually get done anyway without causing any stress. So, ha- not having any stress, helps you to, see life in a different way. Um, Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, you feel this as well. It's not laziness. It's not laziness. We live in a culture where people say, if you're not doing this, and that, you're lazy. You know what? Then I'm lazy. And I look good and I'm cute and I have fun and I enjoy my life to the fullest and I still get stuff done somehow, some way. Okay. It's usually people that call other people lazy. If they're really, really lazy, like they don't care about anything and they just let themselves go and they just don't care, that I don't think that's truly lazy. I think there's something wrong. Like, there's something that's not making them want to get up and live their best life. So I wouldn't call it lazy. Lazy is when you feel like you don't want to do anything because you don't have to, and you just chose to relax for a long time, and that's okay. Um, you can I explain the law of assumption? I don't feel like assumption is a law. I feel like what if you are living in the mindset of being a creator and you assume something, when you assume something, it's for the manifestation that you are manifesting. So, for example, if you assume that someone did something that they didn't do, right? But it's imperative to your manifestation to create the frequency that you need in order to get on the same frequency as what you're manifesting, then it's okay, you know? So think about when you were a little kid and you took a flower and do y'all remember he loves me, he loves me not, he loves me, he loves me not, he loves me, he loves me not. And then the flower would have like one petal left and you'd be like, oh, he loves me. And so you walk around skipping around, say, oh, whoever loves me, right? That's assumption because that person may not know who you are. That person may have never met you. That person may be thousands of miles away, don't even know who you are, right? So the power of assumption gets you in the frequency in order to raise your vibration, in order to create what it is that you're trying to create. Okay. You said lie to yourself, it works in your favor. It's not a lie because one day it could be true, you know? And the reason why I say that is because, like, if you go as far as believing in the multiverse and time not existing and all this kind of stuff, then in some one of the realities it's true. So the law of assumption then becomes, a truth in one of the multiverses. So who cares? It's true somewhere. Think about it. And a lot of people don't like this because they think inside the box. They think inside the box. And just like on um, what was it, the Avengers, when um, Doctor Strange had to go through every reality and every multiverse to find the solution to one thing, because the law of assumption, one thing assumed is true somewhere, somehow, some way. And all you have to do is reach that vibration in order to either bring it in or closer to you, or to manifest something different altogether that needs such frequency. Okay. Um, is there anything from your old videos that you have changed your mind about? I leave up my old videos because I like seeing how I have changed and how I haven't changed, and how I might agree with it one day and not agree with it the next day, because nothing is fixed. Nothing is fixed. If something is believed one day and not the next, it's because I don't need to believe it that day. And that's how y'all have to really look at what I say. Some days you need to believe certain things in order to get on a frequency, and some days you don't. And in order to accomplish what you need to accomplish that day, you may believe something totally different. That is the beauty of being able to think outside the box, because you don't have fixed beliefs. Okay. You have beliefs when you need them, and then you don't have them when you don't need them. So it would be very hard to ask me a question because my mind is always going to change about it, depending on what I need done. Yeah. So that's why I won't go back and change anything, because that's how I felt at the time. And I might feel that way again, or I might not, if I need to or not. So it's there. Some of them, maybe I had less knowledge. Some of them, maybe I was channeling. Some of them, maybe I was going off of what someone else said. But I'm going to leave them all up, because I don't believe in trying to edit and change things and take stuff down because I've changed my mind, because then I'll be taking a lot of stuff down. I want it to remain up there. So just in case one day I feel that way again, or I can see how much I've grown. It reminds me of when little kids draw pictures and they see them when they get older because their parents save them, and they're like, "Oh, that's ugly. Don't save that. Oh, that's terrible." But then you're like, "Oh no, it looks like art, like a Picasso or something. It looks like abstract art, and it's beautiful. And it reminds me of when you were a kid and you were innocent and sweet and you didn't know any better." And da 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 da. I'm always going to leave, all my old stuff up, because it's who I am. And I'm always going to keep the little drawings of the weird little stick figures that my kids did, because that's who they were and who they are. And that's what I love about them, how they've grown, how they've changed, and how they're still the same. Okay. You said you can only believe in something you don't know. For example, I say I believe it. I'm a girl, then I don't truly know. You can believe in Jesus because you don't know. I know Jesus. Sprinkle, sprinkle, he be delivering my DoorDash. Be careful. People got different names these days. All right. Girl, Jesus be on it. I give him 5 stars. He be delivering that DoorDash quick. One time he delivered it to the wrong address, and I had to forgive him. It was hilarious because I had to forgive Jesus instead of the other way around. But we got it together. Yeah. It's so funny when you order DoorDash, it says the person's name. It says Jesus is delivering, is approaching right now. Is approaching. It's like Jesus. All right. It's like, okay, Jesus, leave my food. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. They say you can feed plenty. So you said, why does our mind tell us we can't when we are manifesting? Because it's not you or your mind that's telling you that you can't. It's all the circumstances and situations and people that have ingrained that into you. Because when you're a child, you don't know that you can't do something because no one told you yet. But maybe you saw a movie where someone couldn't do something, or your mom or your dad told you you couldn't do something, or a friend told you you couldn't do something, or they warned you against it, or you see a lot of people try to do it and then they fail. So definitely you feel like, well, why am I special? Why should I get to do it if it doesn't work out for so many other people? Only the lucky people. Da, 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 da. Well, then say that you're a lucky person then. Manifest being lucky where things work out for you all the time. Okay, manifest whatever it is you need to manifest in order to feel like it is going to work. Okay, our families limiting beliefs, they're so draining. I don't believe in, look, belief, whatever you choose to believe in or not believe in is totally up to you at that moment. You know, you don't have to, whatever you learn does not have to be your belief permanently. You can learn something today, believe in it for 2 hours, and then not believe in it the next hour. It's up to you. Then you can believe in it again tomorrow when you need to. That's the beauty of it. That's thinking outside of the box. And I know a lot of people have to get used to that. But if you were, let's say, an attorney or a criminal defense lawyer, you got to pull different cases for different things, for different situations, for certain circumstances. And this law may not apply for different circumstances. So therefore, you don't believe in this law in order, for this case. But in another case, you could definitely pull in this law and, give the opposite defense. So it's there if you need it, and you can put it away when you don't and grab something else. This is the best way I can explain it because a lot of people will work with one set of rules and never realize that those things are to be crafted, created, and manipulated by you in your mind. You never gave to any church houses. You only took from the pastors. Here's my tithes. Thank you, Shira. Sprinkles. Okay. Thank you, girl. Tithes wild red. Yeah. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, how do you get rid of family trauma and generational curses? Um, no longer be affected by them. Manifest to no longer be affected by them and change your direction of how you do things. If you see yourself repeating the same patterns, then change them. Manifest your ability to change your patterns from what your family ingrained into you. Manifest for you to change your patterns. Okay. Understand why a lot of that stuff happened. If something happened, it was probably because a lot of people had no choice. They had limited knowledge and it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Now that you have more knowledge and you're able to manifest and control your life, then you yourself have the ability to change everything in your path. And whether you choose to or not is up to you. A lot of people like living in trauma and generational curses because it gives them something to talk about. But if you're tired of it, just go ahead and change it. Go ahead and change how you think, how you act, how you do things, and make sure you're not repeating a pattern. That's it. Manifest to not repeat the pattern. Okay. If you feel like it's a problem, it's going to be a problem. If you feel like, oh, that's easy to get rid of, just manifest to break the cycle or the pattern and do better and focus on the things that you actually want in life, then it's gone. Okay. It's kind of like those shows where, those Save My Restaurant, and the restaurant is going bad, the business is bad, the building is crumbling, and then they call in Gordon Ramsay, and he comes in and he just starts executing. And in a week or so, the customers are arriving. Things are changing because he didn't focus on the problem. He only had the solutions for them. So focus only on the solution, and you will see major change and major improvement. Okay. Shira, decode Kylie's outfit lately. Kardashian circling around her photo. Okay, she had a lion. She was inspired by the Lion King, Valerie. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I don't know if that was Scar or Mufasa, but she probably wore it because somebody paid her to, and she needed them coin. Okay. I don't know. Is she a Leo? I don't know. Um, I don't know, but thank you for the donation. I'm not decoding Kardashian outfits. I mean, I have better things to do. But if I had to guess, she's a Leo. She was inspired by the Lion King, and somebody paid her to wear it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And she knows she'd make headlines, probably, you know. He said recognition of past trauma, acknowledging it, sitting with it, and forgiving self and others goes a long, long way. It does. Like, I was dumb. You can say I was young, dumb, I did it, and so what? Whoever, if your parents caused the trauma, my parents was young, dumb, they didn't know what they were doing, they did it, and so let's move on forward. That's all you can do. You can't get mad at somebody who was stupid and didn't know any better. It doesn't make sense. I'm mad because you did this because you were stupid and didn't know better. Well, you mad for nothing because they were stupid and didn't know better. Okay. That's all you have to think. Everything is very simple. We overcomplicate it by our feelings. Sometimes we need to use logic versus always feeling stuff. Um, okay. It's that simple. How do you start manifesting correctly, or is there a right way? The right way is the way that you feel most comfortable and most confident, you know. So it's a mental work. You have to be confident within yourself and not fear yourself or making mistakes in order to correctly manifest. And in order to feel like that, you have to take your goddess or godhood to the extreme. So, the saying, God don't make no mistakes. Well, then you need to become God or goddess. Okay. Which means you have to say, I am a goddess or I am a god and I make no mistakes. Everything I do is always going to work out for me no matter what. Everything I come in contact with is only going to benefit me no matter what, and those that I love. And therefore, every time I manifest, this is what it's going to be always, period. And that's the correct way to manifest with no fear, no doubt from the grand perspective. That's why I wrote the book Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy, because a lot of people associate the universe with, God or, the source or all that kind of stuff. So manifest as dark energy, manifest as the universe, the God particle, the multiverse. I don't care. But get there mentally so that you're not afraid that you're doing anything wrong. Okay. And that's thinking outside the box, literally, because you're not going to do anything wrong if God don't make no mistakes. Okay. It's all going to work itself out for your benefit and those that you love. And that's it. And don't worry about it. Because if you worry about it, you're doubting yourself. And why does God or goddess doubt themselves? You can't. Then, you can't doubt yourself if you're all that. If you doubt yourself, you don't know who you are. So you have to get to that mindset. A lot of people also teach you against that mindset because, oh, you need to remain humble. Well, you can be humble in other ways. Okay, you could use one ply instead of two ply. Okay, but you don't have to be humble when it comes to manifesting and creating the life that you want. You can be humble in different ways. You can go buy you can go buy stuff at the Dollar Tree versus Target. I don't know. Be humble in different ways. Humbleness is not a blanket. It doesn't cover everything. It covers what you choose to be humble in. So I do feel like, and like on a lot of movies, when God is portrayed, they're either portrayed as someone that's very common or modest or like you know, normal. And then when the devil is personified, he's always rich and flashy, right? But can't you be both? Can't you be flashy for cheap? So that's what I'm saying. People can be God and the devil. People can take humbleness and still shine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you might have got your outfit at Target and your jewelry from the Dollar Tree. You still gonna shine? You're still humble? I mean, I do. So I'm saying, think outside the box, create your own reality. Don't go this way or that way. Go the way that you choose. You know, take your own path, make your own path. And thinking outside the box definitely helps you do this and manifest easier and better. And a lot of people just have to do this. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck going in a circle, not changing much, not doing any much better, continuously doing something. But if that's where their comfort zone is, and let me tell y'all something. If you feel comfortable and safe in that circle, in that thing that you're doing because you're afraid of yourself or how you react to other things or success or any of that, stay there until you're not, because that's what's going to wake you up one day. You're like, I'm tired of this. I got to do something better. And then you'll start to know how to. Okay. Can you access other dimensions? If you are other dimensions, of course. Like I said, you're supposed to be all of it. You can access anything within. Now, a lot of people are going to try to think about, like, I got to go in a few minutes, but a lot of people are going to think about science fiction movies. Accessing different dimensions is simply accessing different ways to think, different frequencies, and different outcomes of the situation that could have or would have been. That's it. Mhm. How do you let go and trust that everything will work out? How do we forgive? By not caring. First of all, letting go of something is okay, because if whatever was meant for you, you let it go. It's gonna come back if it was meant for you. You know, because like I said, you manifest everything for your benefit and how you want it to turn out. So, but if you let something go, if it comes back to you and benefits you, or something better may come along. You know, or you make room for something new. Like when I go shopping, I take some old clothes out of my closet and I give them away. I mean, a lot of the stuff I really like, but I'm like, okay, well, I'll like something else better one day. Or I've already worn that a lot of times, so let me just go get something else. And so a lot of times letting go, you need to like compare it to certain situations where it's easy to let go of things. And then you need to say, well, why is it so easy to let go of clothing and not a situation or not a person or not a this or not a that? Because you have memories with this person. Well, you have memories of that outfit. Maybe you wore it somewhere it has sentimental reason and memory on it. Maybe you keep that outfit for the sentimental value of it, you know. So a lot of the times it's not the thing that you can't let go, it's literally the situation or the memories that you feel are going to go along with it. But the great thing is the memories don't go. The memories will stay. So you never really let anything go because you're always going to be able to remember it. So that's why it's easy to let go, because you always have the memories. Whenever you want to think about it or visualize it again, there it is. So don't be afraid to let stuff go because your memories are there always. Okay, and also you have pictures or whatever. Um, Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I have to go now, y'all, but thank y'all everybody who donated. I appreciate you guys. And remember, allow yourself to be an outside of the box thinker. Don't put so many rules and regulations on yourself because that's what makes you fear messing up because there's all these rules and right ways and wrong ways to do things, and you can't remember them all, and you're just I don't want to manifest, or I don't want to do anything because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up, or I'm going to have doubt, and I fear this and I fear that. Then stop following all those dang rules and start making up your own rules. Okay. But when you do that, you're good because you're thinking outside the box. Think about this. There's a box, right? Inside are rules, and you have to follow all the rules if you think inside of that, right? Now, imagine outside of the box. No rules. You create the rules outside of the box. Thinking outside the box. Okay. And then once you think outside of the box that's inside starts expanding with your ideas. And then your ideas become part of the rules that others follow until someone else or you have a more outside of the box thought and you implement that. But y'all remember the box was this little when it started. And then more people thought outside of the box and a new box formed. And then more people thought outside of that box and another box formed. And so on and so forth. So start thinking outside of the box if you want to control or create or make a standard of. Okay, that's all. That's it. All right, I'm see y'all later.